Bang, bang.
But okay, real quick, we're going to jump right into this. The intro is what? Saturday? What is that? The 26th.
26th.
We've got a lot to talk about. But we're going to start out with boxing. And we're going to start out with, of course, next week is going to be the rematch between Miguel Cotto and Antonio Margarito. But before I get into that, George just wants to clarify something, because everybody out there is like, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. We already know that. But George wants to clarify a little misconception that a few people out there.
First off, one
James
of y'all
rolled
had
the
the
disclaimer.
audacity to call me a hypocrite. And I'll be honest, in that comment, I was a hypocrite because I told you how I didn't use caps, and I did use caps. But here's what in boxing, and we're talking about boxing, I like a brawler, a lot like Margarito has been described as a brawler or a fighter, where somebody like Cotto, would be more described as a technician.
That's the French version.
Cotto.
So Cotto
Could you
would be,
plus the Perrier, please?
He's having tea with Cotto.
Miguel Cotto.
So Miguel Cotto, in this sense, would be more of a technician. He's going to hit you 3 or 4 times, look the slip, look the move, dodge, do counterpunching. That's not my favorite style, a la motherfucking Mayweather.
Yeah.
Mayweather likes to do it different, though. Mayweather doesn't do what Cotto does. Mayweather likes to boom, boom, and then he shells up, or whatever you want to call it,
Or slips.
up. Now, I don't particularly like that. But that doesn't mean when I watch MMA fights that I also like brawlers, because they are 2 different sports, you dumb monkey. In MMA, I like a non-one-dimensional person because, let's face it, in MMA, there's more dimensions than just boxing. Boxing's boxing. All you can do is throw punches. You can't beat a guy any other way than throwing a punch. MMA, you can beat him taking him down. You can tap him out. You can ground and pound him. You can punch him till his face falls off. I like a guy who can do all of those. I don't
Hang in there,
need
boxing people. Go ahead.
So then you like
that's
GSP?
Fuck him. No, actually, I'm starting to like GSP more, but not till he finishes the fight. Now, here's how I see. Back to Cotto, and I know it's Cotto. Calm down, relax. And Margarito. I read a little bit, and I watched the previous fight. And let's face it, Margarito keeps coming forward. You can hit him with the kitchen sink, a Brinks truck, Jimmy's mom's wooden leg, and a fucking and a taco.
I think it's wicked.
Right. Bam! It's got a bird feeder in it, too.
Keeps coming forward. Because I was watching it, and you could see about round 3, round 4, Cotto was like,
Yep.
oh, shit.
You know what's funny? Antonio Margarito's like Jason from Friday the 13th. He just keeps coming forward, and it's like,
with plaster.
You know, with plaster. Now, there's going to be a lot of things. We'll get to that point. But the thing is that when you fight a guy and they're coming forward, a lot of people, it's not just that the physical wear, it's mentally wears you the fuck down.
It's discouraging.
You know, it gets discouraging because that guy has a hell of a chin, and he comes forward, he's lengthy, he throws a lot of fucking looping body shots. That shit gets tired. It's hard to keep your hands fucking up here when you get hit, worked in your body.
You're going to have to put a lot in to finish him because he's just going to keep coming.
He's going to keep coming forward. So it mentally wears you down. It physically wears you down.
Because Cotto didn't make it out. Didn't make it a full 12 with Pacquiao. No. Margarito did.
Because he just doesn't give a
fuck. Now, Margarito is going, because he's got somebody else's eyeball in his head.
Right. And you know, that's another thing. Nobody really knows. I mean, they're letting him fight with his eye after he had this cataract removed. But there's a lot in his camp. There was a lot of things going on. Is his eye? Is he ready to fight? I mean,
let me. And this is my opinion. If I'm Cotto, I'm gonna pepper the shit out of his eye because I can tell you right now, even though he's been cleared to fight, the New York Commission looked at the ref and said, "Hey,
make that shit happen."
If Margarito starts looking bad, you have to stop this fight. Yeah. And you better believe that the ref is not gonna let Margarito get fucked up.
No. Now this is another thing. You said it, New York. This is a big thing. The fight is in Madison. It's at Madison Square Garden this time.
Cotto's got 25,000 Puerto Ricans who have already bought
because there's more Puerto Ricans in New York City.
They have
than
a Puerto
Rico.
Rican Day parade.
Yeah. So I mean, and he said that. I mean, straight up, you know that if the fight was going to be at the MGM Grand in Vegas, it was going to be a lot more Mexican crowd there and stuff. And so you would have had a lot of more Margarito followers. I looked at this fight, and what you would have. I mean, you would have. I mean, Margarito, what's so funny about that? I mean, you're going to see a lot of people. You're going to have all your Mexican Americans, basically. But that's how it is. I mean,
no, we got your point.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and it is like that in boxing. Somebody made a comment on the board saying it's sad because you look at these camps, you see white guys, black guys, Mexican guys, Puerto Rican guys. You see them all in camps fight with each other. But then their fans become so fucking segregated for their particular
Wait,
fighter.
time out. White people still box? That's a lie. One of y'all
Across
named
the pond, Mike.
Marciano stuff. It was over.
Right.
the last white boy I saw box was that guy out of Ohio who
Kelly
got hit.
Pavlik?
Holy Jesus. Kelly Pavlik, really good. Kelly
No, we
Pavlik
saw-
got fucked
We saw Ricky Hatton laying on him.
He's not a white dude. That's an English dude.
Oh,
No, I'm talking about
American.
born
Okay.
in the 50 continental United States.
Okay.
Born in United States.
Well,
I'll wait.
there's
Go
not
ahead,
a
name 'em.
tremendous, there's not a huge amount of
no.
Caucasian American
Ain't one.
Caucasian fighters. They're European, you know. Because
I'm
the
not
Klitschko
opinion.
brothers fuck them white boys fuck some shit up in the heavyweight ranks. Tell the truth, nigga. They wreck some shit.
Who did they beat up? The last dude he beat up was 205 pounds. He weighed 260. Come on, man.
But they've got for their time. They're not one of the
Hey,
great.
hey, you can only fight who's there.
You can't. You
You're right.
can only fight. So
Sounds like a Dan Henderson fan.
right.
Come on.
Now, getting back to the Cotto Margarito fight. Now the other thing was real quick.
Yes.
His his gloves loaded.
Because I'm gonna tell you what, Cotto was getting rocked in those later
He looked
rounds.
like the Elephant Man. At the
He
end
got
of that fight.
lacerated on the face.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to think that something was.
Fishy.
His
Yeah.
gloves were loaded. Now I'm going to tell you what. It's whether his gloves. I mean, I think personally, I think that Margarito's gloves were loaded. I do think they were loaded. I think that he would. I
does
think,
too.
and you know, there'll be a lot of people that disagree with me, but I think, and that's not taking anything away from the man's skills because he's still a very skilled boxer and he's an awesome boxer. But I think maybe did he know it? Was his trainer doing without him knowing? I don't know. But I know that trainer's gone. I know the fact that this.
Time out. Margarito has been boxing since he was 15.
and a half.
And I'm not kidding. He's been boxing since he was
He's
15.
a tough ass.
He loves to fight.
There
He does,
is
I mean.
there is no way possible that this man did not know there was plaster put on his damn wraps. Because
yeah.
I mean, I've never had my hands wrapped, but I would imagine I watched Hackelman do it. I would imagine if I've been having my hands wrapped since I was 15, and when all of a sudden they put a hard cast-like substance inside my glove, it might feel a little different than it had since I was 15. So if you want to take that route and say that he didn't know, bullshit.
No, I'm not saying he. I'm saying I
sorry,
don't know.
that he thinks. Oh, I didn't know. Margarito knew.
Yeah,
that's
I think
bullshit.
Margaret. Now, who you look at this? Since obviously this was discovered before the Sugar Shane Mosley fight, he fought Cotto back in 2008. I guess it was 6 months later. He fought Sugar Shane Mosley.
Let me ask you a question as a
worked
black
him.
man. How do you let yourself get such a nickname like that? Sugar. Like
There's
sweet.
a lot of sugar.
Well, look at Sugar Rashad Evans.
But
Look,
think
look
about
at Sugar Ray Leonard.
but
Look
think-
at Sugar Ray Robinson.
But think about. No, I'm talking about today. Let's
It's
talk
the
about,
same way white boys get names like Bubba, Shorty. How do you let a
'cause they're
white boy get Bubba?
but to me, it's like sweet and effeminate.
I'll tell you how he grows up somewhere in the middle of the country, probably with an outhouse.
Right.
But my question, but no, I'm just saying with today where people have to be so masculine and raw and tough and all this, and you're gonna let yourself as a black man be named Sugar.
That means because you're sweet, Shorty.
You're
Not
proving
sweet,
right.
not
You're
sweet
proving my
like-
point right there.
Right, yeah,
You're
yeah.
sweet.
I guess
So
you got
that's-
a good point.
I mean, I don't
I
know,
guess if you're
just-
working from that angle, that's a
That's
good point.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting nickname to me because
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't have the name Sugar.
No,
What would you, if
neither
you
would
could
I.
have any nickname, what would be your
the
nickname?
forehead.
The
No, I
forehead.
don't
That
know,
shit would be
Jody.
nasty,
I
Shorty.
don't know.
The
Blockhead.
five head.
Yeah, I don't know.
Georgia Knot.
Yeah,
That shit's crazy. Your dome is crazy.
thanks.
I'm gonna tell all you people out there, just don't get in a headbutting contest with George because them corners will fuck
Let me
you
tell
up.
you, Margarito could have plaster in his gloves if he was punching that head.
And that
His
plaster would
hands
break.
might have been hurting.
George would be like, "What you think that plaster hurts me, bitch?" Anyway, I know we're way off subject, but
Okay, how do you
So-
see the fight going?
this is what I
On an
think.
even playing field, no plaster.
Oh, and I think we can definitively say there isn't going to be any of that.
No.
There's not going to be any of that. If you look at what has happened since then, Margarito has struggled a little bit. Cotto has continued to do pretty well. He's done awesome, except for his fight against Pacquiao. But I look at Miguel Cotto. I think he's probably a better fighter now. I think that those blows, those pounding blows he was taking to the body and to the head, you saw I said, I think you're going to have to take away a little bit of that. That's going to, I think, a lot of people are going to say, when a man beats you to the point where you just quit. I mean, and that's what happened the first fight.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. He just beat Cotto so bad, and was it the plaster cracking him in his fucking head all the time? He just sat in that corner and he just looked over at his father and was just like, this is it. I can't get it.
How do you see this fight going?
I think. Okay, I'll tell you.
When?
Finally.
6 rounds. Okay.
He needs a Lee Corso approach.
I think if Miguel Cotto can do what he did at the first half of the fight and get into like the 8th or 9th round and box him, which George doesn't like to see, I think he's going to need to. But I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A boxer. You like a brawler. This guy is a boxer. He's the superior boxer. This is the only way he is going to beat Margarito. He can't get in a brawling match with Margarito. He'll lose. He'll lose his heart, and Margarito will overwhelm him, and the fight will be over. If he can continue to box him, avoid the shots, and get into the deeper rounds, I think he'll win a decision. I don't know if he'll be able to knock him out. He seemed like he was tagging him with shots that was snapping Margarito's head back the first time, and Margarito wasn't getting knocked the fuck out. And Miguel Cotto does have good knockout power. Not against Margarito, okay? So I think that I would give Cotto probably a UD. That's what I'm thinking.
I would agree with Kevin, and also I think the fans are going to be. I think that's it's going to be almost a home crowd for him. I think that'll definitely add a little extra flavor. Yeah,
they're definitely going to be on Cotto's side. I think that's going to help him. What do you think?
I 100% agree with Kevin, and I'm not just saying that because I don't know as much about boxing as Kevin. Is because
stand up for your white people, man. You can't agree with me.
I shouldn't look at you in the face either when I talk to you.
Don't look at me in the face when you talk to me, man.
That's what another one of you intelligent folks out there
Speak up for the white.
Yeah. Told Kevin, don't look at George when you talk to him.
Don't look at George in the face. Oh, you's an Uncle Tom motherfucker, man. Make your own decisions.
Here's what
what the fuck, man? Look,
here's how I see it.
Hey, motherfuckers would just come up with some stupid shit.
Yes,
you know?
because y'all got nothing better else to do. But anyway, I think if Cotto can manage to stay away, and I think he will because Margarito seemed slow in their first matchup. And I don't think he's gotten any quicker in the last 3 years. So I think Cotto peppers him, stays on the outside, moves in when he has to, scores his points, and stays away and wins this.
Yeah.
And let me tell you right now, it's going to go 12 rounds.
Yeah, I think it's going to go 12 rounds.
Unless he pulls a shotgun or he's got a loaded weapon in one of his gloves, that being Cotto, my French.
Cotto. I think the only way it doesn't go 12 rounds if it's somewhere or another Margarito gets Cotto in trouble, and all of a sudden Cotto just slips back in that thing like this guy just has me. You know what I'm saying? And that, after a guy beats you that bad, whether the gloves were loaded or not, it can come back and play on you a little bit.
I don't think it will.
You saw that shit back in the playground when your kids fighting motherfuckers. Somebody whip your ass all the time. You're like, damn. You know?
To me, the only way he can win is by some way of his coming forward, pressing the action. He injures something, maybe gets his eye swollen, and then continues to come forward and finishes the fight. But that's the only way.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I think this fight's going to go one of two ways. Either it's going to go 12 or Cotto, and like I said earlier in this video, the ref, I think, is going to have Margarito on a very short leash.
Yeah.
If he starts to sustain damage around his right eye,
like Pride Day.
I would see the referee honestly stepping in and the ringside doctor going, that's it. And to be honest, if I'm Margarito, I understand you're a warrior. You have the hugest heart, and it's about the machismo and the pride of who you are and where you've come from. Homeboy, you need to see.
But
I'm sure you have more than one child.
It will be interesting, like what George is saying. It will be interesting to watch during the fight if that eye does start to swell some, and the doctor is taking a look. You know how a doctor normally takes a cursory look. It'll be interesting if he takes an extra second and an extra look.
I think the doctor would be much quicker to stop the fight in Madison Square Garden as opposed to being in Vegas too, because of the crowd. The crowd would go fucking nuts if Margarito, they felt like he was still in the fight, and all of a sudden they had to stop it in Vegas because of an eye. The crowd would be flipping the fuck out.
Now, there's